It's no longer news that hip and boot padding is the trending um, fashion. So let's dive with me into this video. Let me teach you how to achieve a perfect hip padding. So firstly, I have this like a sketch of my skirt, but just up to the knee. So on the knee part, I'll go up by 2. On the waist part up, I'll go down by 1.5. 1.5. So after this, I'll cut this out because I want to cut out the allowance. The allowance will not be needed, so I'm cutting the allowance out. So I'll be having just the actual measurement of the skirt. I believe you understand. So I'll just hold this to make it stay. So at that point, this is the hip part, this is the knee part, and that is the waist part. I hope you understand. So on the hip part, I'll go in by 5 inches. 5 inches. On the waist part, I told you initially I'll go down by 1.5. The knee, I'll go up by 2 inches. So after this, I'll just use my curve ruler to get the desired curve. So please, this my curve ruler just got broken when I was about doing this tutorial. So please use a perfect curve. I'll just get another curve and then curve this well later. So on that part, that midpoint of the hip, I'll go down by 6 because I'm drafting both the front and the back of the hip pattern with this pattern. So on the midpoint of the hip, I'll go in by 1. This is for the back. The first one I drafted was for the front, which I labeled front. So this is my curve ruler. I'll use it to get a better curve. After this tutorial, you'll be able to draft and then sew a perfect hip padding, hip boot padding to attach to your client's skirts. So for the back, I'll be going in by 4. Do you see what I did there? By 4 to achieve the curve for the back. So I'll just trace this. I'll just try to curve this. You understand? That point is where I went in by 4. From the hip, I went down by 6 and then I went in by 4 to achieve this curve. You can see. Do you understand? Any questions, just drop them on my comment section and I'll be answering them. So I'll just try to get this curve. So that part, you're seeing a different curve at the down before the knee for the back hip is where I went in by 4. Can you see? I'm labeling them so you'll not be confused. I went down from the hip to this place 6. You see? So the hip to inside for the front, I went by 5. So if you watch this tutorial well, you'll be able to cut a perfect hip and boot padding. You understand? So after this, you see that I labeled one front, one back. Do you understand? So I'll just cut this. This is just like a very easy way to cut your hip padding. So I'll just cut this out neatly and carefully so I don't lose out any of the curve. So after this, I'll be placing, I cut the front and the back in the same pattern paper. So I'll just place this in order to cut out the back. Do you understand? So I can differentiate from the back and the front. So I'll just cut this out. So please see what I did here. I labeled. Please, it is very important you label this, except you have mastered the art. You've mastered it. That's when maybe you will not need labeling. For the sake of maybe those seeing or learning this for the first time, please take labeling very serious. You understand? So just cut this out. This one I'm cutting now on a new pattern paper is what I'll use as the back. Do you understand? So let's just cut this out. So let me just neatly cut this out, and then that will be that for the back. So this we have for the back. This is the back. So I'll just transfer that same label, the way I labeled it in this 2-in-1. I will transfer it because now this is just the back. I hope you understand. You can draft yours separately. You understand? So I'll just notch so to identify that that is the joining part. So for the front, I'll be removing the back part from this front, so we'll just have the front remaining. And I'll notch this part. Please take note of all labeling and where I notched. It will help you to identify the parts. Do you understand? So you don't get confused. So I'll just cut this out. You see how carefully I'm cutting it because I don't want stories. So I'll just cut another part. This is for one part of the hip, so I'll cut another part, another pair. You understand? So let's quickly cut that. So now I have each pair for, you know, the hip. We have two sides, so we have the two sides ready, and I'll just label to avoid confusion, as I said. So after labeling this, I will show you the foam I'll be using. Just I'll be using foam for my own sewing. You know, you can use foam, you can use fiber. It depends on the one you want, but me, I prefer foam. Sometimes I use fiber, but I'll be using foam. So let me just show you what it looks like. This is the foam I'll be using, and this is 1/2 inch. You understand? This is 1/2 inch. They have smaller one, but I'll be using this 1/2 inch. This is fiber and it's same 1/2 inch, but I don't want to use it. For me, foam works better for me. You understand? But you can use which one you want. So I'll just place the pattern paper on this foam and then cut, as you can see. So after I place them, I'll just pin them neatly and cut. So that is it for this. So I'll just cut this. Make sure to cut the same way you have the pattern. Don't allow the pattern paper shift. Do you understand? Pin it well any way you can to make it stand, stay firm. So you cut it exactly without adding any inches at all. You understand? So let's just cut this out. You see how I'm holding this because I don't want it to shift. I pinned it and then I'm still holding it. You understand? So I'll just cut. You see, I've cut the, on this side I've cut the both parts. Do you understand? So now I'll show you the cloth gum I'll be using. Okay, let me label first, please. Very important. You know, the pattern paper, I'll be dropping it. So I'll just label this. You can see how neatly I labeled it. So I'll be using cloth gum to cover this neatly. Do you understand? You cannot just sew it that way, of course. You know, neatness is key when it comes to achieving a good look. So look here what I'm doing. It is very important. You see this tip here? It is very important. You cannot skip it. Okay, I'm trying to, how do I say it now? Trying to blend it. Do you understand? The edges, to blend it in order to have a contour. Should I call it a contour? So that it will not be so visible. It will not be visible. You understand? So let me just use that word. So after doing that all round the 4 pieces you have, I'll be using that cloth gum to cut it front and back. I'll be wrapping each and every one of them front and back, as you can see. Do you understand? Please, after this tutorial, I am so confident that you would be able to achieve this. Do you understand? So on your comments, when you achieve yours, please drop your comments. I'll be so happy to know that. So I labeled it again because now that cloth gum is covering it. So I'll proceed to weave mine. Some people iron and then use the ironing to cover it, do you understand, neatly. But me, I will be weaving mine all round, removing all excesses of that cloth gum, the part that is not needed. You can see as I'm weaving, I am pushing out any excess. See how neatly it turned out. Can you see that? Came out so perfectly. So on the next class, I'll be showing you how to attach this to your skirts. Do well to subscribe and click on the notification bell so when I post videos, you'll be the first to know. Bye.